Hi everyone, it's nice to be back. We're going to start today's session by looking at the practice activity that I set for you yesterday. So here's our ratio chart back, and you had a missing number. Okay, so hopefully you've got something written down that you did yesterday. Maybe you talked it through with a parent or a sibling, and we're just going to talk it through now to see how you got on. So we don't have the product for the factor 8. But we do have some information in the adjacent rows, okay? So those are the ones we're going to be looking at. First of all, here we go. We're looking at 7 2s are 14 and how we can use that. 7 2s is 1 less 2 than 8 2s. So if we're going to use 7 2s to help us, we need to add on 1 more 2, okay? And if we're going to use 9 2s are 18 to help us, then we know that we're going to need to get rid of one group of 2 because it's 2 too many. Okay, so that should help you to realise that 8 2s are 16. Well done if you spotted that pattern. We're going to carry on looking at patterns now. So we've got our ratio chart back again, but there are a lot of numbers missing this time, but we've got pretty good at this, so I think you're going to be up for this challenge. Okay, so we're going to go along the columns and the rows, and we are going to see if we can work out what numbers are missing. Just before we do that, we're going to have a quick reminder about what's in each column to help us. Okay, so this column here with these numbers in here, can we remember what that represents? It represents the factors, okay? So how many groups of 2 we have, okay? That's the numbers down here. Okay, so what about this bit then? This bit here, what does that mean? Well done if you knew that that's our other factor. That tells us that there is 2 in each group. Okay, so there are our 2 factors. So what do you think then all these numbers in this column here are? We've used this word a lot now. Good, there are products. Okay, so we've got the factors and the products. So this time we've got some missing factors and we've got some missing products that we need to find. Okay, this is this missing square I would like us to fill in first. So these are our factors, and what is happening in our factors? The factor above is 0 and the factor below is 2. So we can see quite quickly that the factor there needs to be 1. Well done. Okay, so our numbers in our factors, our numbers down here increase by 1 each time we go down. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's go down. Here again, we have another factor that's missing. So if we look down our row, can we count down our row? And the factor that must be missing there is 3. Well done, everyone. Okay, the next missing box has swapped over. It's on this side. Can you remember what must be missing from here then? Good, it's a product that's missing. And the pattern here is not the same, is it? It's not the same as this side. Our factors increase by 1, while our products increase each time by 2, because we're going 1 more group of 2 each time. So we haven't got anything underneath to help us, but we have got the number above. So for this box here, what do you think the answer is going to be? Some of you have probably got an idea. You've got 2 more than 6. The answer is going to be 8. Well done. Should we just practice by skip counting through? 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Brilliant. Now that might have given you a little bit of a clue as to the next product. I'm not going to help you with this one. I want you to pause the video and I want you to work out the other missing products that are missing here and the other missing factors that are missing from here. See if you can write those down on a piece of paper, and then we're going to discuss them in a second. So pause the video now. Okay, did you come back? I hope so. Good. Okay, so now we are having a look at this missing box here, aren't we? Okay, so we had 8 above and we've got 12 underneath, and the difference between each box is 2. So our number is going to be 10. Well done. Okay, popping back over to this side, we're looking for a factor, aren't we? Oh, and there it is, 6, 5, and one more than 5. We're on 6 2s now. Okay, going on to 7 2s. But oh, we're missing a product again here. We're missing our product. So what could it be? If we've got 12 there and 16 there, and the difference here is going to be 2, in between there is going to be 14. Well done. Excellent, we're getting on really well. Okay, we're jumping back over to the factor side now. Now we've got 2 factors missing here that we've got to work out. We've got 7 here and we've got 10 here. The factors increase by 1 each time. So we have 8 and we have 9 groups. Well done, brilliant. So just one more product to find now. Our last product to find here. So we could skip count all the way through here to check, but I don't think we need to anymore. 2 more than 22 is going to be 24. Fantastic, well done. So we're going to carry on looking at patterns to help us work out and get to know our times tables much better. So if I know that 10 times 2 is equal to 20, then I know that 9 times 2 is equal to, I think some of you might have been able to work this out now, and we'll identify the pattern in a minute. 9 times 2 is equal to 18. Brilliant. And 8 times 2 then must be equivalent to 16. Now I want you to have a quick think. If you knew that already, how did you know? What was it about the numbers and the patterns? What have you noticed? What did you notice that helped you to understand what the product would be? What is helping us get to know our 2 times table? Just pause and have a little think about that for a minute. So what have you noticed? Our factors on this side here, this time they're decreasing, aren't they? They're going down by 1. Before in our ratio chart they were going up, now they're going down by 1. What about these factors here? They're staying the same, aren't they? Because that's how many are in our group, and we're doing our 2 times table, so that's what we're looking at. And what about these? What did you notice? They're also decreasing, aren't they? And as our factors decrease over here by 1, then our product decreases by 2, because we're going down 1 group of 2. So our products go down in 2s. So we know that adjacent multiples or factors have a difference of 2. Right, here we have more missing numbers, and we're going to carry on using that idea that adjacent multiples or products have a difference of 2. Okay, so do you remember we said here this group here, this column here, sorry, tells us how many groups we have. So we've got 7 groups of something are equal to 14. What are we counting in? Do you remember? 7 groups of 2. 7 2s are 14, aren't they? Well done. So what must be the next one? 6 groups of something are 12. This is going down by 2, so it must be a group of 2. Well done. And again, if we looked at our product or our multiples, it is a difference of 2. And here we've got a difference of 1. Good, so that must be 2. Well done. Now we've got missing numbers in a different place. Can you remember? We just talked about what this column here is, what this first number in our equation here is. It's the number of groups, isn't it? Okay, and they've been decreasing by 1 each time, that factor, while our product has been decreasing by 2. And our product does decrease by 2 here, doesn't it? Can you see that? It's decreased by 2. So what do we think is going to go in here? It's 4, isn't it? 4 2s are 8. So what's our next one here going to be? What do you think? What's the same? It's the same factor that's missing, isn't it? It's our first factor missing again. The one that tells us how many groups there are. There are 3 groups. And again, the factor that tells us the groups is missing. 2. Now, can you help me out here? There's something different. We've got a really different looking equation here, but I bet you can help me work it out because you're really good at moving these things around. So what have we got? That first empty box. I wonder, can you see? Have a think. It's going to be our product. Our product's going to be there. Brilliant, which means on the other side of the equals, we must have our 2 factors. Okay, so our factors down the side here, our number of groups has decreased each time. Okay, gone down each time. Our factor here has stayed the same each time because that's our number of groups. And our product down here has decreased by 2, but suddenly our product's over here. So what number do you think is going to appear in that box? 2. You're absolutely right. Our product is 2, which must mean that our number of groups factor is 1. Good. And we're still talking about groups of 2, aren't we? Because we're in our 2 times table. So our other factor must be 2. Well done. Great work, everyone. We're going to just have a look at some more examples with some missing numbers, but the numbers might be missing in different places this time. So let's have a really careful look. Okay, so the beginning of our number sentence says 5 lots of 2 is the same as 4 lots of 2. Oh, it's not finished, is it? It needs something else. How can we make that balance out? How can we make that equation balance out? We've got 4 2's. How do we get to 5 2's? We need one more, don't we? We need to add on 2. Well done if you got that one. Good. Okay. Oh, right. It looks tricky at first glance, doesn't it? But let's have a look. I bet we can do this. So it's saying that 5 2's take away something is the same as 4 2's. I'm putting a picture in my head. I've got 5 2's. What do I take away to make 4 2's? I just take away a 2, don't I? I take one of those 2's away. Brilliant. Let's see what else we've got. Okay, now we've got 8 2's is equal to some amount of 2's and one more 2. Okay, how are we going to do this one? So we need to think about what is going to go in this gap here. How many 2's do we add one more 2 onto to get to 8? It's 7, isn't it? 7 lots of 2, 7 2's plus one more 2 gives us 8 2's, is equal to 8 2's. Let's have a look at this one then as well. 8 2's take away a 2. Think about what we're doing there. 8 2's take away one of the 2's, leaves us with is equal to 7 2's. Well done, everyone. Brilliant. We've really got the hang of this now. You've been so brilliant at this that we're going to try now using some of these ideas to help us with some word problems. So here is our first problem. Yesterday, I looked in my sock drawer and I found 4 pairs of red socks. How many socks is this all together? So can you remember what a pair is? How many socks in a pair? 2. So we're dealing with counting in groups of 2 or our 2 times table. So let's get a number line out to help us with this. We're going to count in our times table. So are you ready? 1 2 is 2, 2 2s are 4, 3 2s are 6, 4 2s are 8. So we've got our 4 pairs of red socks, so our total is 8. And this is how we might write it in an equation. 4 2s are equal to 8. Okay, ready for our next bit? The next part of our question. I saw that there was also a pair of blue socks. Sorry. How many red and blue socks are there all together? So I've got to put the red socks and the blue socks together. Okay, so here's our blue jump. We had 4 jumps of 2 and then 1 jump of 2. Okay, so we've got 4 2s plus another 2. Do you remember back to our ratio chart? What is that the same as then? It's the same as 5 groups of 2, which is equal to 10. Brilliant. Okay. Oh, we've got a bit of a tricky bit now. Ready? Then I found 1 odd sock. How many socks do I now have all together? So are we adding another pair? We're not adding a group of 2. What are we adding? Just 1 little lonely sock. Okay, so that is going to be our 5, lots of 2 are 5 pairs of socks, plus just 1 little poor sock on its own, which is equal to 11. Good, well done everyone. So we're going to do some more problems that we might come across in real life where we can use our times tables. Jason has 7 2-litre bottles of water. How many litres is this all together? So he has 7 bottles and there's 2 litres in each bottle. How many litres do we have all together? Now you've got some boxes underneath with the symbols in, so I want you to pause the video and have a go at just this equation. How did you get on? Let's have a look at it together. Jason has 7 bottles, so there's 7 of them. Okay, so that is our first factor, isn't it? He has 7 bottles, and in each bottle there are 2 litres of water, so that is our other factor. Okay, good. So how many litres do we have altogether? Now some of you I think are getting really good at these facts, so you might now just know 7 2s. Or you might have needed to count up, and that's fine too. But we know that our product, our answer today is 14. Okay, good. Let's have a look at the next problem then. Now Jason gives 1 of the 2-litre bottles of water away. How many does he have now? So he started with 7 2-litre bottles, but he's given 1 2-litre bottle away. What's he got now? What's the equation he has now? Pause again and have a go at writing out using those boxes and symbols underneath. Okay, we ready to go through it? So he had 7 bottles of 2 litres, but he's giving away a 2-litre bottle. So he's subtracting 2. Do you remember when we looked at it? When we've taken away 1 group of 2, there now must only be 6 2s. Okay, and do we remember what 6 2s are? I wonder if you can remember that fact. It's going to be 1 2 less, so it's 12. He's got 12 litres left. Okay, so now we've got some expressions, but I'm really sorry I've missed out the symbols that go in between that makes them correct. Okay, so do you think you could help me with this? That would be brilliant. I think we're going to need the greater signs, the lesser sign, and the equal to signs. Okay, the first thing I want you to do is have a look and see what you can notice is the same or similar. So pause and have a good look. What's the same? What's similar? Did you notice that we have here, we have 7 2s every time on this side of our symbol? And then on this side of our symbol, we've got 6 2s there, and we've got 8 2s here. And down here we've got some different bits, haven't we? We've got some subtracts and some adds, but always with 2s. So I think it's important that we've noticed all those things before we start trying to work out what we need to put in. So let's have a look. Okay, on this side we have 7 2s, and on this side we have 6 2s and taking away a 2. So what do we think? Do we think this side is going to be greater or less? Have a think. It's going to be greater, isn't it? 7 2s is greater than 6 2s take away another 2. The 6 2s was already less, wasn't it? But we've taken away another 2, so 7 2s is definitely greater. Let's have a look at the next one then. Okay, on this side again, we've got 7 2s. And on this side, we've got 6 2s, which we know is less, isn't it? But hang on a minute, we're putting another 2 on. So this is going to be equal. 7 2s is equal to 6 2s plus 2. Good, well done everyone. The next one we're looking at, are you ready? Again, we've got 7 2s here. But on this side, this time we've got 8 2s and another 2. So what do you think about this 7 2s over here? It's going to be less than, isn't it? 7 2s must be less than 8 2s, and it's definitely less than 8 2s plus another 2. Good. Let's have a look at the last one then. 7 2s on this side, and on this side we've got 8 2s subtract 2. So what do we think about 8 2 subtract 2? That must be equal to 7 2s. Good, well done. 7 2s is equal to 8 2s take away a 2. Next, we're going to start with a statement, and we need to work out whether this sentence is true or false. It's really important to remember, have a look at the top there, it's really important for us to remember that factor times factor is equal to product, or we can just move it around and say that the product is equal to factor times factor. Okay, so let's have a look. Is this sentence true or false? If 9 is a factor and 2 is the product, 18 is a factor. Explain how you know this to your teddy or your mum or your dad or your brother or sister or anybody who's around. Explain how you know that this statement is either true or false. Let me read it one more time. If 9 is a factor and 2 is the product, 18 is a factor. Pause it and have a think. What did you think? True or false? It's false, isn't it? Well done. It's false. What do you think the person has done? Can you work out what mistake they might have made? I wonder if you realised. They've mixed up the language, haven't they? So if 9 is a factor and 2 is a factor, 18 is the product. Well done everyone, you've worked so hard today, you've done brilliantly. So I'm going to tell you now about the practice activity, and then there's also a challenge after this one, but let's look at the practice activity first. Okay, so true or false? The sets of number below are products in the 2 times table. Okay, so we've got a little table set out there, and there are numbers, and then you have to tick in the column next to it whether you think they are all products in the 2 times table or not. Okay, so you can use your finger to put a little tick on your screen to whether you think all those numbers in each list are products in the 2 times table or not. Have a think about explaining how you know, again to your teddy or your mum or your dad or your brother or sister or anybody who's around. Explain how you know that they are products in the 2 times table, or they are not products in the 2 times table. Tick or cross. Here is an extra challenge for you today. Are you ready for a challenge? 5 children go out wearing gloves. Then 1 child loses a glove. How many gloves are there now? Okay, I want you to write down the multiplication equation and have a think about all the things we've learned and applying what you've learned to this problem. I've had a great day with you. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye.